Hey everybody, Jacob the Animation Critic here. Some of you might have been wondering where I have been since it's been quite a while since I've done my last review. To which I can proudly say... cares! Okay, so maybe that was a bit harsh, but bottom line, life's just got in the way, I've been busy, but that's not important right now. Today we're going to be talking about a film that, while not animated per se, is so bizarre and ridiculous that it even makes Minions look down to earth in comparison. The name of this movie? Cool Cat Saves the Kids. For those of you who are wondering, yes, this is a real movie. But I can't say blame me for your skepticism. Brought to us by Derek Savage, a writer-producer responsible for such stories as Sweet Revenge, The Devil President, and Midnight Stripper, A Male Dance Story. No, none of those have been made into actual movies yet. Probably for the best. Cool Cat Saves the Kids has gained a reputation over the past year or two for being the kids' movie equivalent of The Room, in that the choices it makes are so mind-boggling and strange that you can't help but wonder if anything was being smoked during the making of such a film. However, it has also been compared to The Room in regards to how its creator has reacted to its reception, specifically towards reviews of the film. Apparently, Savage did not take reviews of the film from such internet reviewers as Your Movie Sucks, I Hate Everything, and Guestsheaux particularly well, and so he issued takedowns on the reviews under the claim that the said reviews were copyright infringing, even though under fair use laws, the said internet reviewers made incredibly clear, state that reviews such as theirs were protected from copyright infringement accusations. Things got ugly, to say the very least. Angry emails were sent, false lawsuit threats were made. It was madness from beginning to end. Needless to say, Derek Savage's image only plummeted further and further as the controversy continued. But, in the end, is the movie even really worth making such a big fuss about? I mean, what about it warrants such heated discussion? Well, everybody, there's only one way to find out. Set your awkward levels to maximum, people. This is Cool Cat Saves the Kids. The movie opens with... I'm only a few seconds in and I'm already hit with a copyright strike? How is that in any way fair? Well, serves you right, you little scumbag. Ugh, god damn it, Savage, what are you doing here? I am here to stop you in your tracks. You're about to copyright infringe on my wonderful work of a movie, which is against the law. And ignorance of the law is wrong. Okay, first of all, you just said law. If you're gonna talk down to me, at least get your words right. Second, I am aware of the law, and it states that I have every right to use your film in my review, since it examines the film from a critical, satirical, and even a little educational perspective. All of which are allowed under fair use laws, thank you very much. Those are just lies that lying punk trolls like you made up and posted on the internet, and you can't believe everything you read on the internet. No, but I can believe things that are backed up by a variety of credible sources, fair use laws included. That's besides the point. Whether you like it or not, Savage, I am reviewing this movie, so screw you, let's get back to business. As I was saying, our movie opens with opening credits that I swear just seem to go on forever. Seriously, they're only like a minute or two in length, and yet I feel like the ending to Return of the King got over with quicker. But they do come to an end eventually, as we then get a quick news flash discussing the movie's main conflict.
Report. We have terrible news. Bullies have been picking on children everywhere, and it is tragic. There has to be a way to stop the bullies.
Help! It's everywhere being bullied!
You'd think that a location called Bully's Diner would be a place where you wouldn't find any bullies whatsoever. Why? So after that little bit, we cut to a house in Southern California that is so poorly lit that you can actually see the shadow of the cameraman filming this movie as clear as day. It is in this house that we meet our main character.
Hello, this is Cool Cat. Who are you? And what's your name?
You are so funny. It's me, Maria.
Was that even supposed to be a joke?
I just put 3 signs and they look terrific. I'll be over in a minute.
Awesome! Thanks, Maria! See you soon!
I'll get it.
Thanks! My hands are full!
No, they're not, you lazy-ass buffoon! So, yeah, this is the one they call Cool Cat, everyone. And general rule of thumb, people, If your character's name includes any form of the word cool in it without any ironic value to it, then chances are your character will be anything but, as this thing clearly demonstrates. Oh, well, now you don't mean that. Of course Cool Cat is cool. He loves kids. Okay, first of all, so do pedophiles. Second, you know why Elsa from Frozen is such a popular character right now? It's not because she's depicted in a way that's meant to come off as hip or cool, but because she's a multifaceted character with an even mix of qualities, both positive and negative, that give her a sense of humanity and realism. Audiences see many of those same characteristics in themselves and therefore are able to appreciate the similarities they have with her. And it's that balance of strengths and flaws as a character that make her seem more complex and believable. With Cool Cat, you try so hard to make him this perfect being that you not only fail to allow audiences to identify with him, but also create accidental flaws that are never really addressed and instead make him detestable and unrelatable. In trying to make him sensitive, he comes off as whiny. In trying to make him energetic, he comes off as overly sporadic. In making him childlike and excited, he comes off as immature and incredibly annoying.
This is the coolest office I've ever seen.
This isn't a character I want to root for. This is a character I want to put into a blender and feed to a pack of rabid hyenas. But, unfortunately, no one else in the movie seems to have these issues, as Cool Cat and his friend Maria are apparently working on signs for Cool Cat's campaign for class president. I'd question who in their right minds would vote for such a stupid candidate, but then again, we live in a world where our current presidential candidates are Dolores Umbridge and an Oompa Loompa. So as far as I'm concerned, anything's fair game now.
Ooh, I'm gonna see in my corner office, and there's your corner office.
But little do they know that across the street, a sinister force looks on.
Boy, they feel like picking on someone. And look over there. If it's not Cool Cat and Maria, they think they're so cool. Longer punk up. Maria's pretty, eh? Jack Texter's ugly.
Oh my god. This is our bully, people. His name is Butch, and I kid you not, he is every bit as over-the-top and cartoonishly villainous as you can imagine. As much as I want to despise how unbearably one-dimensional he is, his character, both in terms of writing and performance, is just so bizarrely handled that you can't help but be fascinated by him. That said, if the intention here was to make a serious anti-bullying film, then this is one of the worst directions to possibly go in. One of the key missions in fighting bullying is getting to understand bullies and why they act the way they do. By giving absolutely no depth to Butch and instead settling for such a blatant stereotype, you fail to address one of the most important aspects of any anti-bullying crusade. Funny thing is that if you pay close enough attention, there are definitely things about the character that could have been examined more thoroughly. For one thing, it's pretty clear that Butch is not exactly the most physically fit child, a fact that could easily make him insecure, a common trait among bullies. The same thing can also be said about Butch's apparent lack of friends, or at least that's what the other characters keep saying.
He's always bullying somebody, and he has no friends.
So many possibilities that could have been explored, but nope, this movie decides it's better to depict him as a cartoony bad guy that even slightly Whiplash would call too cliché. So Butch decides that now is the time to strike, as he then sends a mean text to Maria.
Hey, Cool Cat, I just got a text, but I don't know who it is.
Well, there's only one way to find out. So, see what it says. It could be good news. I love to get good news.
Yeah, me too. What if it's a secret contest, and I just won a whole bunch of money?
Then we can take a nice trip together.
1. If you receive a text from an unknown number, chances are it's not something you want to read. 2. A text offering free money or prizes is definitely not something you want to pay attention to. So, like the idiots they are, they read the text and, of course, are offended. Shortly afterwards, Butch sends them another.
Hey, Cool Cat, I just got a text from the same person. Should I open it?
Sure. You know, maybe they feel bad about that really mean text, and now they want to apologize.
Okay, even Snow White would say that you're too trusting. How could you possibly come to that conclusion? So, again, like the idiots they are, they read the text and are once again offended. Seeing his plan go so well, Butch decides to take it up a notch.
Hello, this is Cool Cat.
Why do they call you Cool Cat? They should call you Dumb Cat.
Who is this?
You heard me. You might look like a cat, but you stink like a dog.
Well, to be fair, when you say things like this...
You know, maybe they feel bad about that really mean text, and now they want to apologize.
You more or less open yourself up to such criticisms. So Cool Cat and Maria realize that it was Butch sending all those mean messages and don't really do anything about it. Which I guess doesn't make it all that surprising for Butch to then go around spray painting their signs, which unfortunately for him doesn't go as well as it should have.
Ouch! That dumb one paint in my face. That's what he gets. My daddy calls that payback.
So does my daddy. In fact, my daddy says, what goes around comes around. That'll show him.
You know, have you ever bothered to consider befriending Butch, or at the very least being nice to him? I mean, the way you talk about him not having any friends, it sounds like you're being the bullies and not him. You know, my daddy says a saying too. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And unless you start treating Butch with some level of respect, he'll have no reason to do the same to you. So, because spray painting graffiti worked so well the first time, Butch decides to do it again, this time roping 2 other kids into his plot.
We're painting our new logo. We're calling ourselves the Bad Boys and paint a big B on a wall.
I bet the B stands for Butch.
No, it don't, so shut up.
Ugh, these 3 are making the good feathers look legitimate. And they're freaking cartoon pigeons. So Cool Cat and Maria are visited by another kid who tells them all about the trouble that Butch and the others are causing.
Oh no! Now they've escalated to stealing. Ooh, it's so wrong to steal.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I've held off addressing this long enough, but is every other line from Cool Cat just him preaching about how something is wrong? Seriously, every minute he's on screen it feels like he's doing nothing but state that something that's being done is wrong. Movie, if you want to teach your audience about what's right and what's wrong, then let the scene play out and let the audience come to the conclusion themselves. Don't have your main character state the obvious as it comes off as preachy and obnoxious, which only makes said character even more irritating. Even Jiminy Cricket knew when enough was enough, for God's sake.
I'm gonna stop him! Stop! In the name of anti-graffiti! Cool Cat to the rescue!
So, because apparently Butch doesn't like giant furry cosplayers up so close to him, he bails and leaves his lackeys to take the fall.
It looks like Butch left you holding the can!
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys are paying close enough attention. Can't say I blame you, but if you look toward the right side of the screen, you'll see a random person come out of his house, see what's going on, and slowly make his way back inside. If that doesn't sum up this movie perfectly, I don't know what does.
Nobody loves us. We tag in other people's things so that they know we were there.
Oh no, you got it wrong! That's not the truth! The truth is, there's a lot of people that love you and care for you. I know because I love you. I'm Cool Cat, and I love all kids.
You know what? I could make a pedophile joke about that line, but you know what? That'd be going too far and just uncalled for to begin with. I mean, it's not like Cool Cat masturbates in front of the children. No, don't go back and show it. I know what I just saw. You know what I just saw. Seriously, Garrick Savage? Did you honestly take a good look at the scene and think nothing was disturbingly suspicious about it? What? That? That's just him pleasuring himself. Yeah, that's called masturbation. No, it's what he does when he gets excited. Again, that's called masturbation. Now, you don't understand. Cool Cat is simply expressing the feeling he gets when he's with children. Do you even have any clue as to what you're saying? You know what, can we just move on already before things get more uncomfortable?
That was delicious.
I'm glad you liked it. Would you like anything else?
I spoke too soon! Yes, people, that is in fact Mama Cat. And unless we are given any clue as to otherwise, we are left to assume that Daddy Derek here screwed some literal pussy and brought this Mickey Mouse Club reject wrapped in orange carpet into the world as a result. And in case that notion wasn't horrifying enough, that costume is, I kid you not, just the regular Cool Cat costume with paper lips attached to the mouth and the dress on top.
Hey, I bet you will, you fine-looking kitty cat, you.
Hush up.
You know what? I'm sure many of us have the uncontrollable urge to vomit right now, so I'm just going to put some time aside for you guys to go do so. For those of you right now who do not have the urge to vomit, I am surprised you can stomach all this so well. Here's some tweets from Anna Kendrick to make us all feel better.
Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Hello. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
So, after all our stomachs have been completely emptied, Cool Cat decides to go up to his room, or more accurately a guest room which has pictures taped everywhere to make it look like it's his room, and check his emails.
Wow! I got an email from a John Doe! But I don't know a John Doe!
Then don't read it, you moron! Have you learned nothing from the texting crisis you had earlier? Apparently not, as Cool Cat opens the email and is of course offended by what he reads.
What? You have a fat nose? And you smell like a dirty dog? What? I'm getting bullied in my own house? And I don't even know who from? That makes me mad.
Yes, you can tell from my dead, emotionless face that mean comments like that really make me mad.
But what should I do? I could write something really mean, but I don't want to do that. Plus, whatever I write could stay on the internet for a long, long time.
Then don't write anything. It's clear that this bully wants to get a reaction out of you, so I suggest you just brush out the email, get rid of it, and...
If you were nice, you would have more friends, and friends are cool.
Wow. The levels of stupidity you're willing to sink to are incredible. Also, the way you said that, it almost sounds like you're bullying him back. Again, treat others how you want to be treated.
I'm a bully and I'm gonna get you tomorrow? Oh no! What should I do?
How about telling your parents, ignoring the bully's threats, or pretty much doing anything besides giving the bully what he wants? And in case you guys are wondering, yes, it is rather fascinating for Cool Cat to fret over being cyberbullied when Savage himself has engaged in the exact same practice.
Whatever I write could stay on the internet for a long, long time.
We then cut to what I think is supposed to be Cool Cat having a nightmare, but it looks more like he's being possessed by Zool. Seriously, was the budget for this movie so tight that apparently 2 pieces of orange felt to serve as his eyelids was asking for too much? Also, does this movie actually think its audience is so stupid that it actually has to spell out for us that Cool Cat is dreaming? I'm pretty sure the harp music and poorly rendered rainbows here were enough for us to figure that out, and the only people who do need that extra hint most likely can't read it anyway. I know it's just a nitpick, but it's a fine example of how truly condescending this movie really is.
Wow! This must be dreamland!
Wow, for a place called Dreamland, you'd think it'd look a bit more surreal and imaginative. You know, something kind of like this.
But wait! Why am I in dreamland?
Because you're sleeping? Actually, it's because Cool Cat needs to contemplate how to stop bullying. He considers punching Butch in the face, wouldn't that be a great sight, but rejects that idea because apparently punching people is not cool. He considers hiding in the closet and... yeah, make up your own closet joke here, folks. But at last, Cool Cat comes to a solution.
I'm gonna learn to stand up for myself! Yes! That's a great way to stop bullying! Stand up for yourselves!
So, what's phase 2? Hey! What's phase 2?
Phase 1, stand up for yourself.
Yeah, but what about phase 2?
Well, stop bullying, get it?
I don't get it.
You see, phase 1, stand up for yourself. Phase 2, phase 3, stop bullying.
I get it. No, you don't, fat ass.
So yeah, by standing up for himself, Cool Cat plans to somehow manage to stop bullying altogether. So after a quick jerk-off, a movie maker transition, and a random shirt change, Cool Cat and Daddy Derek go off to Hollywood to... Wait, what?
Hi everybody, it's me, Cool Cat, and I've got a fantastic story to tell you. It's about a parade, but not just any parade, the Hollywood Parade.
Excuse me, but what does this have to do with stopping bullying?
Oh, Mommy! I've got something wonderful to tell you. When we were in Hollywood, someone asked me to be in the Hollywood Parade.
Hello? Will somebody please tell me what this has to do with the bullying crisis?
I was cast to be in the Hollywood Parade.
You're joking. That's fantastic. When is it happening?
It's happening in a couple of days, but...
What does any of this have to do with stopping bullying? Actually, there is in fact a reason for the sudden plot switch. Not a very good reason, but a reason nonetheless. Turns out that this movie is actually a compilation film of 3 smaller Cool Cat films. Cool Cat Stops Bullying, Cool Cat Finds a Gun, and the source of this pointless plotline, Cool Cat in the Hollywood Parade. Now in most compilation films, the individual segments are usually kept separate from one another and often use additional material to serve as transitions between them. But here, the segments are so clumsily edited in a way that it's supposed to make them one whole story, but it instead results in easy-to-spot continuity errors, bizarre editing choices, and of course, plot lines that serve no purpose other than to expand the running time and serve as filler.
Can I have some privacy, please?
So, yeah, these next 15 minutes or so are completely pointless, so we're just gonna skim over them real quick. Cool Cat and Daddy Derek begin writing and performing a lousy song together. Derek shows off his Van Halen autographed guitar because... bragging rights, I guess. They use a green screen without providing any real understanding of how green screen is supposed to work, all while disgracing my great home city of Seattle, by the way. They sing yet another piece of shit song number, this time a rap, Joy. Cool Cat then shows off a bunch of cars that only remind us that there are much, much better films and TV shows we could be watching right now.
There's no ghost here, and that's because the Ghostbusters car is here.
Well, on the bright side, at least now nobody can claim that this is the worst thing to ever be associated with the Ghostbusters. And at last, Cool Cat appears in the Hollywood Parade. Wow, for all that lack of build-up, it's amazing how little I care.
To say to everyone,
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays!
Happy holidays, Cool Cat! Thank you for joining us!
So once we get back to the actual plot, or what I assume is supposed to be the actual plot, we meet the closest thing this movie has to actual star power, Eric Estrada and Vivica A. Fox.
Wow, Vivica. It's such a beautiful day.
Oh, it sure is, Eric. And where is Cool Cat?
Whenever Poochie's not on screen, all the other characters should be asking, "Where's Poochie?"
There he is.
So Cool Cat and Maria come to play in Vivica and Eric's sandbox, although I'm not really sure why. Is Maria Eric's daughter, his niece, or a friend? Are Erica and Vivica just friends themselves, or are they a thing in this movie? And if they don't have any kids, why is there even a sandbox to begin with? Okay, so nothing about this era makes any sense whatsoever. But ultimately it doesn't matter, because guess who happens to show up at that exact moment?
Hey, who's that kid?
I don't know. Probably one of Cool Cat's friends.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Vivica. All of Cool Cat's friends are cool. That kid looks like he's up to trouble.
Well, that and he happens to be on our property without our permission, but that's not important right now. What's important is that he looks like he's trouble. And looks are everything.
He better not be a bully, because I don't like bullies. I think we better keep our eye on him.
Yes, because telling him to get off our property would be overstepping our boundaries. Simply staring at him and doing absolutely nothing is much more sensible. So yeah, Butch comes along and, well, you've seen the memes, you know what happens.
Did you see that? That kid kicked sand in Cool Cat's face.
And Maria is crying.
Now, for all the things wrong with this scene, and trust me, there are far too many to count, here's my big concern. If they could afford to give Cool Cat partial eyelids for the scene, why could they not put some effort into giving him full eyelids in that earlier sequence?
I think we better go save him.
I'm with you, Eric.
Oh, sure, now you come along and decide to do something. But, because they're so damn lazy, Butch gets away before they can do anything. So Vivica instead decides to share a little anecdote.
Oh, it's okay, Cool Cat. People used to pick on me, and then I learned how to react.
Would you both like to hear what Vivica did?
I learned to empower myself. In other words, I quit being scared of the bully, and I yelled at him to leave me alone. And I yelled very loudly. The bully got embarrassed when I yelled at him, and he ran away.
And I was there. Everybody was so happy because that bully messed with all the kids.
Yeah, let's see how that confrontation really went down.
Very funny.
That's what I thought. But Cool Cat decides to take Vivica's advice anyway as Butch, for some stupid reason I guess, makes his return.
Give me your lunch money, or I'll destroy your sandcastle.
We're not gonna give you our lunch money.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this really does bug the shit out of me. Savage, how is it that you can give your character partial eyelids and angry eyebrows, and yet apparently giving him full eyelids is apparently asking for too much? Well, it figures that a punk troll like you knows nothing about how a movie budget is supposed to work. Maybe not, but I do know that getting 2 pieces of felt to cover your eyes should not cost more than a few dollars. Hey, we don't have that kind of Hollywood money. We have to cut corners where we can. Sure, but cutting corners shouldn't go too far as to keeping the story and characters from being properly conveyed. Hey, shut your mouth, you little scumbag. You don't know anything about how movie making works, so... You know what? Screw it. This is clearly getting us nowhere, so let's just move on, okay?
We're not scared of you anymore, so you better quit bullying us.
Yeah, and you better stop right now. I'm gonna tell my mom you yelled at me.
Good job, Maria.
No. Here's how this scene would have played out in the real world.
We're not scared of you anymore. No!
But, yeah, defying all real-world logic and reasoning, Cool Cat yelling at Butch is enough to drive him away. Remember, kids, being aggressive is okay as long as it's being used to scare away others.
I love you, and I've had so much fun playing with you. Let's all be friends, and together we can stop bullying. Yay!
Unfortunately, our movie continues as Cool Cat later comes back to his house and spots a magazine on his doorsteps.
Wow! The mailman must have left one of Daddy Derek's entertainment magazines.
Okay, given who he's married to, I do not want to know what's to be found in any of those magazines. In actuality, though, this magazine apparently has a bit about a writing contest. Or at least they tell us it does, since Cool Cat never actually opens the magazine to find out. And so Cool Cat goes inside to tell his parents the good news.
Ooh, there's this cool writing contest I want to enter. The first prize is $100! Wow! $100? That's a lot of money!
Wow, way to hide your sarcasm behind a thin wall of false excitement, Daddy Derek. You and Taylor Swift would make great BFFs.
Oh my god, honestly, I've come out for a night out with my friend Ida. We're new mums. We've literally come for a night out. I was not expecting this. Thank you so much!
That will never not be funny.
No, it's for kids only. That means I get to enter it and you don't.
Wow, way to sound like a total dick to your parents, Cool Cat. Remember, kids, talking down to your parents like they're complete idiots is okay because Cool Cat says so.
I like fish. Ooh, so I'll write a kid's book about that.
So Cool Cat goes outside to begin writing his entry about a fish named Trolley Trout, which coincidentally is the character of another one of Derek Savage's book series. Self-promotion doesn't get any more shameless than that, does it? But Cool Cat seems to have writer's block and so proceeds to do some exercises. Why? So the Savage can pass this whole movie off as an anti-obesity PSA. No, really, he clearly states in an article that the scenes are there just so that he can claim that the movie is meant to fight obesity. Isn't that like saying the Wizard of Oz promotes water conservation because water is needed to kill wicked witches? In any case, the exercise works as Cool Cat finally manages to come up with a story for his book.
Ooh, I just figured out what to write. Ooh, trying to trout swims upstream and trying to trout makes a lot of friends. Because making a lot of friends is super great.
Wow, a story about a trout making friends? Somebody call Random House, this guy's the next Dr. Seuss. So Cool Cat decides to call it a night and go inside for some shut-eye. We then partake in watching a bad CGI representation of the transition from night and day and oh my god, what the heck is that thing? Now it all makes sense. This movie takes place in the same exact universe as the Teletubbies. Quick, everybody who wishes to preserve their intelligence, run for your lives! But, upon waking from his slumber, Cool Cat, apparently having changed his t-shirt during the middle of the night apparently, manages to finally come up with the perfect way to end his book.
Trying the trout makes another friend. Yay!
Well, there you have it, folks. One of the greatest literary endings ever written. He was soon borne away by the waves and lost in the darkness, so he beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Charlie the Trout makes another friend. Way to break new ground, Cool Cat.
Hurry downstairs, Cool Cat. Breakfast is ready.
Okay, Mommy.
It's such a beautiful day.
You know, it's amazing how often these characters will comment on what a beautiful day it is. In fact, let's recap all the times somebody has commented on how beautiful a day is throughout this entire movie.
It's a beautiful day.
Such a beautiful day.
This is a wonderful day.
It's such a beautiful day.
It's such a beautiful day.
Oh, what a day. What a lovely day.
Okay, that last one was Mad Max Fury Road, but come on, who isn't wanting to watch that one right now?
I'm gonna brush my teeth and wash my face.
Wait, so the mirror shows Cool Cat in a way that you can actually read it perfectly through the mirror? You mean to tell me that they really did make Cool Cat's name in reverse on his t-shirt just so we could read it through the mirror without thinking? I got nothing. I literally have nothing. This movie is just so bizarre that it's left me speechless. Okay guys, I'm gonna need a minute to collect myself, so here are some more Anna Kendrick tweets to make us all feel better.
Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Hello. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
So Cool Cat then goes outside to play with Maria and some other kid we've never met before, who shows off his cool toy ball. But the ball then falls and rolls into the street just as a car is driving through.
Watch out, Mikey! There's a car!
Thanks for warning me about that car.
It's okay, but always look both ways before crossing the street.
Remember that line of dialogue, people. It's gonna come back to bite this movie in the ass later. But before that can happen, there's an emergency announcement on the radio.
There have been several robberies. Bad guys are stealing candy from babies.
That's horrible!
Okay, first of all, was the news days that say slow so that apparently taking candy from babies is apparently enough to warrant an emergency news update? I mean, come on, they live in Southern California. It shouldn't be that hard to find decent news. Alright, let's see what we can put on our newscast today. ISIS bombing in Yemen, boring. Zika outbreak in Florida, uninteresting. Wait, what's this? A kid is stealing candy from babies? Stop the presses! Second, the whole taking candy from babies cliche really doesn't make much sense when you think about it. I mean, babies don't have teeth, so they wouldn't be able to chew the candy. Therefore, they'd choke if the candy is small or hard enough. So, wouldn't whoever's taking the candy from the babies be saving their lives? That kid shouldn't be scolded. He should be rewarded with a Medal of Honor.
Help! Help!
But a horribly directed child actor comes by to tell Cool Cat and his friends about how the candy thief took her candy in school books. And you'll never believe who the candy thief turns out to be.
Help! The bully just stole my candy and he's right there!
Curses! Foiled again!
No, of course it was Butch the Bully who was stealing from everyone, and Cool Cat decides now is the time to go stop him. By running into the street without looking both ways. What was that line he said earlier?
But always look both ways before crossing the street.
Wow, way to break your own rules, movie. A few more stunts like that, you'll be near Frollo levels in terms of hypocrisy. So Cool Cat chases after Butch, all while being shot in blurry slow motion for some reason, only for Butch to literally run into the car of police officer / former porn star Steve Crest, who arrests Butch for no real reason, I guess. I mean, he doesn't say anything acknowledging Butch's actions, he doesn't even read in his rights. He's just arresting him because he can, I guess.
That was groovy. You're just like in the movies. They should make a kids movie about you. We'll name it Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
That's a cool idea.
Yes, and when bullies say mean things about them online with their videos, we can take those videos down and make false copyright infringement allegations. Exquisite! But before they can do that, Cool Cat and his friends hear some troubling news on the radio.
Report. The candy crook has been released. There's a lack of evidence because the crook ate all the candy.
Well, that and the police officer who arrested him forgot to read him his rights, but then again, the police protecting their image is much more important than keeping criminals locked up, isn't it?
Wow, that kid got off easy, especially for stealing candy from babies.
Again, sparing the babies from choking on the candy and thereby saving their lives. Seriously, does nobody even bother to consider these things?
Yeah, let's go play treasure hunt.
That sounds like fun. Let's go.
So Cool Cat and his friends decide to play treasure hunters in his backyard when they come across the most horrible thing imaginable. A gun.
I don't know, should we pick it up and take it home or should we hide it? I don't know what to do. I'm confused.
No. The first thing we need to do is to stay calm and don't touch it. Then we should tell our parents and teachers about it.
Cool Cat is correct.
It's funny, really. For every halfway decent thing this movie actually does kind of get right about guns, it completely ruins it by the characters doing something stupid. You know, I could complain about all the things it does wrong, but you know what? I'm tired of complaining, so we're just going to do this instead.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea. Good idea.
Keeping your hands off a gun.
Bad idea.
Taking your eyes off a gun.
Good idea.
Letting your parent or guardian know about the gun.
Bad idea.
Letting anyone else know about the gun.
The end.
So, yeah, Butch hides himself in the backyard. Seriously, does nobody in this neighborhood bother to invest in good home security? And plots to... Okay, now we have him twiddling his fingers in addition to his hysterical laughter. This kid's not a bully, he's a James Bond villain in the making. Well, that ain't very good considering that this is the type of plot he comes up with.
I can bring it to school and take everyone's lunch money. It's going to be that time for me.
Way to set real high standards for yourself, dude. But Cool Cat and the gang manage to catch Butch take the gun, although they don't do enough to keep him from getting away. But they are still able to tell Daddy Derek about what has happened, and he tells them exactly what needs to be done. What did Butch say he was going to do again?
I can bring it to school and take everyone's lunch money.
Well, it's not like they know he's going to be at the school.
I had a bad dream. I dreamed that Butch the bully brought the gun to school.
Alright, here we go again.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea. Good idea.
Taking your kids and their friends to school.
Bad idea.
Taking your kids and their friends to school where someone with a gun plans to be.
The end.
So yeah, wouldn't you know it, Butch shows up to school with the gun. Seriously, these guys never considered that to be a possibility. But luckily, as he shows it off to another one of his lackeys, Officer Crest shows up, at which point the other kid reacts in probably the most unintentionally funny way possible.
Oh no, it's the police! We're in trouble! Oh, my mama's gonna whoop me! Shut, bonehead!
Can you imagine if we heard something like that in other cop movies? Can you imagine how less seriously we'd be able to take them?
Hey, Toretto! You're under arrest.
Oh no, it's the police! We're in trouble! Oh, my mama's gonna whoop me!
So Butch is arrested, the police officer takes the gun with him, even though I'm pretty sure that goes against police procedural. And Cool Cat is hailed as a hero without ever really doing anything. But just in case that didn't make him obnoxiously perfect enough, he not only wins the class presidential election, but the National Kids Writing Contest as well. Wow, the competition must have been pretty pathetic. Maybe he's competing against these two asshats in each contest. And as our movie prepares to finally come to an end, thank God, it decides to hammer some last-minute messages down our throats.
Well, see, that's why I think kids just need to follow their heart.
Cool, but what about bullying?
Well, we learned that it's important to stand up for yourself and not be afraid to yell and draw attention. Because remember, bullies don't like attention.
Nothing you just said could be farther from the truth, you moron.
But what about cyberbullying?
I was so mad when Butch the Bully was cyberbullying me. How do you stop it?
Well, you see, guys, I've thought long and hard about this. And with cyberbullying, you kind of can't really stop it if you don't know who it's coming from. But my best advice, just ignore them.
Oh yes, just like you clearly did with that one cyberbully you dealt with earlier.
Yay! 1, 2, 3. Cool, yeah!
Thank God it's finally over. So that was Cool Cat Saves the Kids, and honestly, what are you kidding me? Darn it, Savage, have you learned nothing from your past experiences? Will you please take this strike off and just leave me be for once? Not until you agree to stop bullying me and tell all the people that are watching you right now that Cool Cat Saves the Kids is a good movie. You know what? I think I will. Cool Cat Saves the Kids is a good... There now, I knew you'd see reason. Example of the worst quality that cinema has to offer. Why, you dirty little... Hold your tongue, Savage, and let me make my thoughts known. Do I even really need to explain everything wrong with this movie? Probably not, because the issues seem pretty self-evident enough. But let's ignore all the over-the-top and awkward acting the performers are forced to provide. Let's forget all the strange and senseless editing choices that contribute nothing to the plot. And let's push to the side all the plot lines that do nothing more than act as pointless filler. But let's instead focus on what this movie was meant to be to begin with. A tool used to stop bullying. But before I go into any further detail, Derek Savage, let me ask you real quick. What is bullying? Why, that's simple. Bullying is being mean. Really? Is that it? Bullying's just being mean? Yeah, you got a problem with that, you little punk troll? No, not really, except for one tiny little thing. Oh, really? What's that? That is the worst possible answer anyone could ever give. Oh, yeah? Well, what do you think it is then if you're so smart, you little punk troll? You want to know what I think bullying is? Okay, I'll tell you what I think bullying is. Bullying is making kids and teens who have the potential to one day change the world afraid to go to school and advance their futures because they don't feel safe there. Bullying is encouraging thousands of LGBT youth to attempt suicide each year due to being harassed over something that they have no control over and really shouldn't even be that big of a deal to begin with. Bullying is bombarding actors and actresses with the most bigoted and hurtful comments imaginable just because they appeared in a movie that somebody didn't like. Bullying is hacking into private information that one would never want anyone besides themselves and maybe a few other people to see it and making said information available to the public, therefore making them vulnerable to further torment and humiliation. Bullying is a far more complex issue than you think it is. But if it could be summed up in one single phrase, bullying is simply making somebody's life a living hell just so you can feel a little bit better about yourself. And your movie, Mr. Savage, is perfect proof of how little you seem to understand this. Instead of creating a main character who's complex and identifiable, you make him so picture-perfect that he's unrelatable at best and unbearably annoying at worst. Instead of giving your bully some form of humanity or understanding of why he acts the way he does, you turn him into a buffoonish stereotype that most cartoons would consider too ridiculous. And instead of subtly generating discussion about these issues in a mature and thought-provoking manner that allows audiences to come to their own conclusions, you talk down to your audience and continuously shove messages and morals down our throats, many of which are either inconsistent, outdated, not even supported by the character's actions, and or just plain wrong. And yet, despite all of that, your lack of understanding in any of the things I just discussed is most prominent not in the movie itself, but in how you, Mr. Savage, have chosen to react to how others have reacted to this movie. For all the things that bullying is, one thing that it isn't is when somebody sees something, notices something wrong with it, and makes his feelings about it known to others. This is what critics do on a regular basis, and while they may not always have the most pleasant tone, simply voicing their opinions about a film, book, or whatever is not something to look down upon, especially when they make legitimately good points about what they are talking about. Look, I get it, negative criticism can be hard to accept at times. Fair enough, but instead of accepting the criticism and using it to improve your work in the future, you've become so obsessed with protecting your image and acting like you were done nothing wrong that you've ironically done more damage to it than any review ever could. It was bad enough when you made false copyright claims on such reviews and putting their creators at risk of either losing their hobby or at worst their sole means of making a living. But sending multiple harassing emails, blackmailing reviewers with lawsuits in order to get them to take down their videos, impersonating law firms to further push your agenda? Derek, you've become the very thing you claim to be fighting against this whole time. Now, people see you less like a bright and cheery Ed Wood who makes bad movies that we can still enjoy for they're so bad it's good quality, and instead as someone closer to Uwe Boll and Tommy Wiseau, as someone who acts like he's above everyone else and thinks that anyone who dares call him out is, as you put it best, a scumbag or a punk troll. No sane human being would want to associate themselves with such an unpleasant person. But, you know what, Savage? It's not too late to change. Embrace the fact that your movie has gained such an ironic cult following. Bond with these people over the sheer ridiculousness that this movie has to offer. Sure, it might not be the type of fame you want, but it's better to be cherished for what you did on accident than to be hated for what you did on purpose. Whatever you do, though, don't treat people who make valid arguments against your work like they're the real bullies, because in doing so, you distract both yourself and others from the actual bullying taking place in our society and making it harder to do what you claim to set out to do and stop bullying. So, what do you say, Derek? Willing to turn over a new leaf and maybe redeem yourself? No! Now you listen here, you little scumbag, you are dead wrong. All those BS reviews are just simply stealing my work, plain and simple. You are lying to everyone, deceiving them, treating them like the little punks they are. No, treating them like cows, milking them for all they're worth. That is not being a bully to any degree, I assure you. Stating a fact is a fact, and good will always win over lies and evil. Wow, he was just so full of hot air that he finally spontaneously combusted after overheating. Well, I guess that's the end of him. But is this the end of our whole copyright fiasco? Unfortunately, no, children. There will always be another Derek Savage. Names may come and go, but their evil lives on. But just remember, as long as there are many of us who are willing to support one another, the few that oppose us will never truly succeed. This is Jacob the Animation Critic signing out.
Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Hello. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.